you switch berries for real dollars. You got full API access, so you can access the full capabilities of the phone. Like I talked about before, accelerometer, geolocation, compass, everything. Sometimes even the user data from the user's approval, so that's, for example, the user's address book and so on. You use native apps if you want to have rich media and interactivity, usually like INN. Definitely done in native apps. And you can integrate it with other native apps. For example, the music player or whatever. Another advantage is or was that you have multitasking and persistence. I'll touch on that later when we talk about the web apps. Web apps are generally faster and easier to develop and maintain. There's no third-party validation or approval process involved. So if you deploy to the App Store, Apple will have a look at your source code, and it will take a while for them to get back to you. And they can be quite strict. Web apps, you have instant iteration. So let's say you have a version of your app out there, and you want to make a slight change. If you have that app in the App Store, it will go through the whole approval process again, and it might take a couple of weeks for your users to get access to the new version. Whereas if you have a web app, you just make the change on the server, and whenever the user loads the app, they have the new version. There's no fees involved. I only have that in there because you still have to pay fees on Apple.
You pay an annual fee of $900.
And it's multi-platform. So before I had the slides with all the different OSs and what kind of web browser they have. There were a lot of WebKits. And if you develop a website for WebKit, it will run on all those platforms. So Android, iPhone, BlackBerry. So you don't need to develop it 3 times in different languages. And multitasking means that you can do more than one thing at the same time. You used to not be able to do that in web apps, but now you can with HTML5. It's got a thing called web workers. And the other thing is persistence. And so sometimes you might want to use a web app even though you don't have internet access. So it would be nice if all the last data that you actually downloaded from the server, all the history data would still be there, so that you can actually look through it and browse through it. It might not be the most updated version, but at least you can use it, and that's all supported by HTML5. So you can use a web app even though the phone does not have internet connectivity. There's a couple of web app development kits out there. They all are based on the same thing. Basically, you program against it using HTML. They provide rich style sheet libraries where you have buttons, this toolbar, like all the UI elements that you might need for a mobile app. And sometimes different themes. So it's like a black theme or kind of silver theme or bluish theme. And you basically just kind of tell it which theme you want, and your whole web app will look differently. And it has a rich JavaScript API that kind of does, UI detections, like has the user done a swipe, click, or like all the touch gestures. It gives you a set of animations, and you can easily do like page exports. That means you download new information from the server and you kind of inject it into the current site that you're looking at. So it's not the old way of kind of updating the whole page every time you click it. Those are the ones, popular ones I could find. There's JQ Touch,